welcome to Proud to Be Out. Today, we have the great opportunity of interviewing and speaking with Toni Newman. Hey, Toni, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for agreeing to come on the show at such short notice. I truly appreciate it.
I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Okay, so let's delve right into it. I'm going to get into a little bit of your history, and we'll do a little this and a little that. But let's talk about your book, I Rise.
My book, I Rise, was published last year in April 2011, and it is a book about my African-American transgender transformation of me going from an African-American male to transgendering to a female. And I wrote the book detailing about 25 years of my life.
Wow.
Of me transforming from the Deep South, Christian two-parent home, God and Jesus every day. And I decided to write a book because you don't see many books from African-American transgenders telling our stories, and that's why I'm glad you're having me now, so I can tell the story again so people can learn more about transgender.
So from what I've seen, you're getting some great reviews.
So far, so good. I have chat.
And I also see that you are the only transgender novel that's been written in this century.
In the 21st, yes. I'm the third in history. The last one was written about 25 years ago. First one in the 21st century, and only the third one in the United States history to do so.
I want to applaud you. You know, there are people that, you know, there are female studs that are scared to come out. There are, you know, there's all these different nicknames in our community, the Twinkies, the Bears, that are all scared to come out. And you're standing here and standing proud, and I want to thank you myself personally and applaud you for doing it, because that takes true courage.
Yeah, the fear held me back for almost about 15 years. I was just so afraid to do it, so afraid to be me, to transform, wear my wig out in the daytime, be who I was, as they would say, be who you are. It was just, the fear crippled me. It really crippled me. So other young people in the South and all over the country who don't feel like no one else is like you, I'm like you. You can do it, and you don't have to be scared.
That is awesome. So you said the South, so you literally were raised in the South. Deep
South, Jacksonville, North Carolina, with the pigs and the cows and the chickens and the rattlesnakes crossing the highway. So I was raised in the Deep South, where there's prominent KKK members,
wow,
prominent anti-black members, prominent known anti-gay members, and it was tough. And was raised in a Christian home where, you know, it was a tight Christian home. So I had it in the house. I was getting it outside the house. So I was just really afraid to be me.
Wow. Now, so from what I've read, you've lived in New York, you lived in California, so you've experienced this country as you're making this transgendered.
I've lived in about 10 cities in the United States over the 20-year period. L.A. and New York have been my longest. I've been in L.A. for 9 years, and I was in New York for almost 8 years. But before that, I traveled to D.C. and Raleigh and other places once I graduated from college. So I've been around, and I was a African-American transgender sex worker in the beginning part of my transformation, which I traveled all over the country as a sex worker with other transgenders, trying to make money so we could take hormones and get pills and the things we needed so that we could begin to transform because we had no health insurance and no money.
So let's take this into something else. I read that you're going to, you're in law school now.
Part-time, yes. I'm a part-time law school student working on my law degree, and hopefully I would like to be able to defend transgenders who oftentimes get caught in the legal system, and they really get a bad deal, a really bad shuffle. And I would like to help those that I can, not really get that bad barrel on the gun, because transgenders are treated very poorly in the legal system and also in the jail system.
Yeah, I can understand it, and I've heard those stories before. Now, how do you feel that you're being welcomed by the LGBT community? Do you feel that our community welcomes transgenders or still has questions?
As an African-American transgender, I feel there's a ways to go.
Okay.
I feel that the minority transgender, we still are trying to get that recognition that we need in order to get the help that we need to, progress forward and to move forward in society as, prosperous, human beings that give back. I think they're trying, but there's a long way to go as an African-American transgender. And for minority transgenders, I think there's still a long way to go. In my personal opinion, based on what I've seen and what I've heard and what I've been shown, as an African-American transgender, I think the LGBT community has a little bit more to go in order to fully recognize the African-American and minority transgender in the LGBT.
So you believe that you were born this way, correct?
I do.
So if you were born this way, you're down south. How do you express this to your mother?
Oh, that was difficult. At first I came out to my mother as a homosexual, as gay. Because I wasn't sure how to put it in terms at that point. Even to her, I didn't know how to say it, how to do it. They had no recollection of transgenders in North Carolina in the 80s, early 90s. They didn't know any personally. The one or two that we had seen over the 10 years, they came and went. So there was really no basis to say, I'm a transgender. They're going to say, what is that? What does that mean?
Right.
So I didn't even know how to explain it myself because there was no one in the area or in the vicinity or in the region I could point to and say, I'm like them. There was nobody during that time period. So I came out first as a gay male, and it was rough, but it was acceptable and tolerated. It wasn't until I came out a couple of years later as transgender that the relationship took a really big toll between me and my family because they just didn't understand that second announcement. You're gay, we get it. Now what does transgender mean? What is that all about? I lost them on that second announcement where we were okay after the first announcement.
Wow. And are you still estranged now?
Oh, we communicate. It's better. I mean,
okay.
I think
so with time, it's getting better.
It's good. They're great people. These are good people. Siblings, 3 siblings and a mother still living. They're God-fearing people. They're good people. They're doing the best they can, and we get along okay now. So it's okay.
Okay. So let me ask you this. You had from an extremely successful career going back a little bit as a model. Yeah, you've been, in centerfold. You've been in Playgirl. You've really had a career out there. And there's so many people that because of their career, they won't come out, let alone think about the journey you've been taking. What made you decide to say, you know what, no matter what, I'm making this choice?
I was so unhappy, Teresa.
Okay.
I was with some of the most beautiful men in the world. Some gay, some straight, in that area. And I just was an unhappy person. And it all came down to how can I be happy? I just want to be happy. I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to feel unhappy. I just want to be happy. And it got to a point where I just couldn't hold back. I had to open the can and let it pop out. I just couldn't keep the lid on it anymore. I was just an unhappy human being with a good career and great friends, knowing if I did that, I would probably lose most, and then I lost all of my friends after I made that announcement. And my life took a downturn for many years to climb back up. But it was worth it. I lost everything to regain myself. And for me, it was the best move I could make.
So do you feel you're stronger today than you were 10, 15 years ago?
Oh, God, yes. There's no more shame. There's no more fear. There's no more doubt. There's no more hesitation. I am being and doing who I am, what I am. And I'm not ashamed. I'm not afraid. Once you remove fear, true happiness can abide. And I'm happy now. So, yes, I'm much stronger and much happier.
What would you say to someone, because the whole idea behind Proud to Be Out is to pretty much put a voice behind our community and talk to the young people out there who are just starting their journey. What would you say to someone who is about to take their journey who feel that they are a transgendered person and just don't know what to do next? What would you tell them?
Well, now they have the Internet. You have Chaz Bono, who's a celebrity transgender. You have transgenders who've been on TV shows. It's different now. I didn't have any examples before. I would say don't let the fear hold you back. If this is truly within your being and your inner spirit and in your soul, you know this is you, don't be afraid. Don't let the fear cripple you. You know, reach out at your local LGBT community center. There are transgenders who now are working at LGBT centers. They're in attendance in meetings at LGBT centers. Reach out to your local transgender society if there's one, and ask for help. There are doctors now who you can go to who specialize in transgender issues. So just look on the Internet in your local area and reach out to someone who can identify with you and help you. There's no need to be afraid. There's no need to be ashamed. There are a lot of us out here, and that's why I wrote the book, so you could put a picture and a face to me as an African-American transgender. I did
a beautiful face, by the way.
And you can do it. You can do it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Okay, so before we go any further, you just mentioned the book again. We have to tell them how they can find the book. If you don't, then my inbox is going to explode. So how do they find your book?
The book is available at ToniDNewman.com on my website. It's also available on Amazon.com and Barnes & Nobles and about 45 other online retailers and bookstores. But if you go to Toni D. Newman, it will point you in the right direction on where you can find the book, how you can purchase it, whether it be hard copy or you just want to download it on your iPad or your phone. You can go there or Amazon and type in Toni D. Newman, and the book will come up there on Amazon.com as well.
Well, I'm going to let you go in just a minute, Toni, because I know you're a really, really busy lady, but I got to ask you, what's next for you?
Well, I hope to finish law school. The British director, Keith Holland, has turned the book, Chapter 7, the sexy part of the book, into a film called Heart of a Woman. And we have Elizabeth Rahm from Law & Order, Rachel Sterling from True Blood and Wedding Crashers. The transgender lead is the black girl from Chicago, Angelica Ross, the Calvin Klein model, Daniel Sobere, and the lesbian comedian from Def Jam, Leslie Jones, are my 5 leading stars. And we are trying to secure the funds to start shooting the movie, to put out the movie Heart of a Woman based off Chapter 7 in the book called The Erotic Professionals. It's sexy, talking about escorting and survival and all of that good stuff. And we've already cast our 5 leads, so we're ready to go.
Wow, you are amazing. I've got one more question for you, and then I'm going to let you go. Toni, are you proud to be out?
I'm proud to be out and African-American transgender. Yes, I am.